Hi, and welcome to the show. Well, today we're going to talk employment. The employment office is a term you've probably heard. Well, locally it's called WorkSource Oregon. A lot of you know that, and you probably maybe had the benefit from it. Either you're a business or an individual seeking a job, and you've had a great experience there. Others may not know, and that's why we're here today, to talk to a couple of our local experts. We have with us today Jim Robertson, the county manager of WorkSource Oregon, and Eric Gabrielson, business specialist. Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank
Well,
you.
let's get introduced a little bit. Just, Jim, how did you come to this job?
Well, I spent 35 years in the Navy doing human resources, so because of that, my drive and passion has been taking care of people. And once I retired from the Navy, I was looking for something to fill that drive and passion. I found this position available. I went and applied for it, and fortunately, I was the lucky pick.
Wow.
So it's awesome because I'm back to doing what I've done for 35 years in HR, which is taking care of people, helping people find jobs, and making their lives better because of it.
But here in town, you've been here how long?
4 months. Next week will be 4 months.
And you're new to McMinnville?
I actually live in Dallas.
Okay.
So the other county down south.
Where'd you in the Navy, you traveled?
Yes, I did. I've been to more countries than we have states. I quit counting when we hit 50. So been all over the world.
Well, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
That's
It's
amazing.
good to be here.
You're from all around the world, you right here on this show today.
Yes.
Very
But
good.
it's awesome. No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And Eric, how about you? How did you come to McMinnville and to this job?
Oh, yeah. As far as school is concerned, I was always interested in careers and what made people choose what they do. I did some research on that in school, and got a lot of opportunities to work with people with disabilities and helping them find work and help them navigate the world of work, and landed a job, or landed with Yamhill County, and did that from 1995 until about 2002, and worked for Chemeketa Community College, helping folks pick their career program, or pick their careers and their degree program, and landed in a wonderful spot in 2010 with WorkSource Yamhill. And so I've been there ever since 2010, and I just love what I do. I really do.
You're in your life's work. This is your
I
calling.
am.
You went to school for it, and you're in it. You've been doing it ever since.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's
I have been blessed by getting the office that I have because I do have phenomenal people like Eric that just make my job so much easier.
well. I know you, Eric, from Unitarian Universalist Fellowship in McMinnville. That's where we first met, and then you started showing up, or we started showing up at Greeters,
Right.
With the chamber, and tell us why you go to Greeters.
Yeah, a big component of what our business services consist of at work is we do a lot of outreach to businesses, spread the word about our free services, spread the word about the human contact that you can get in placing a job listing with us, and all of the other services that we provide for businesses, for recruiting, for hosting recruitments at our offices, and especially for the smaller businesses. A lot of smaller businesses use us as their HR office away from their office, or satellite recruiting service.
Now, Eric, you just said a mouthful. Jim, just repeat that whole thing for us again in different language and emphasis on the things that you're excited about.
Well, the big thing is a lot of people don't realize that when a business pays unemployment insurance, they actually are already paying for our services. So every business that has people, they pay unemployment insurance in case people get unemployed for whatever reason. And so that unemployment insurance comes to OED, the Oregon Employment Department, which is one of the 12 partners. It's us and 11 other partners that run WorkSource. So the money comes to us through unemployment, or through the unemployment insurance that they pay, for us to be able to provide services for both the businesses and for customers walking in. So the businesses get to use our services for looking for people to fill vacancies in their industry. customers come in through the front door looking for services, whether it be resume writing, interview skills, a plethora of training that we have, computer-based training, outside training, going to Chemeketa or other institutions of higher learning in order to get specialized education so that they can better themselves and find better, high-quality, higher-paying jobs.
So Eric, when you're at Greeters, you're maybe looking around the room thinking, who's here and how can I help them find employees?
Yeah.
So maybe you'll walk up to, maybe just name an industry maybe that you are looking to serve.
That's really good you have mentioned that, because my coworkers and I have different industries that we serve. I serve the healthcare industry and human services. So, what I'll do is I'll look for representatives from the visiting nursing services, from hospitals, from clinics, senior care centers, anything that deals with healthcare. But, overall, I'm always trying to get the word out about how not everybody knows that our services are completely free. Businesses have paid for their services already through their taxes, and all of this is available. And the other point I really try and stress is that we tend to be a little more friendlier, and you actually get human contact using WorkSource rather than the Indeed.com career builders of the world, ZipRecruiter, things like that. So we like the fact that we have a personal touch, and there's always an actual human on the other side being able to help you.
So some businesses that have connected with you in town, just maybe pick out one in your mind that has had quite a success in their relationship with you.
Yeah, there's a lot.
What services have they used?
Yeah. So what we did just recently is we worked with a human service agency called Essential Services LLC. And what we did is they created a job listing in our system, and that allows me to notify matching job seekers of the fact that they're actually going to be in our office. It was yesterday. They were in our office doing interviews. And so through our system, it's called iMatch Skills, through our system I was able to notify, I think I sent out almost 100 notifications that they were going to be here. And so they interviewed three candidates and are meeting another two that got their information later on. And it's a really, really nice service, especially because Essential Services is a smaller business. A lot of smaller businesses use us as, like I said, their satellite recruiting office. So that went well, and then we work with bigger businesses as well. And most of that is automated, so the bigger business like the hospital, the hospital will advertise, both Providence and Willamette Valley Medical Center here, and they'll subscribe to a system called the National Labor Exchange. Their job listings and their recruitments are automatically fed into the system, and our job seekers automatically see it when they run a search.
Now, what I heard, though, there's an extra person in there, and that's you. You're almost like a recruiter,
Yes.
noticing the postings that the businesses have done, and then sending out notices to people you think might be interested. Maybe they didn't check their listing that week or whatever, and you are like, hey, come into this presentation or this interview process that is being held at our office on a certain day,
Right.
and see what you see. So it's almost like a matching.
Yeah, and hence the name iMatch Skills, our system. Yeah, definitely. And the other really nice thing is even bigger businesses can reach out to us and say, hey, we're really having a hard time finding, for example, a nurse practitioner. It's a really specialized form of nursing and very specialized license and certification that they have. And so if they're having trouble finding a specific niche position or specific niche candidate, we can help them find that too. If they're a big business or if they're a small business.
A great example on a larger business is Walmart here in town has actually used our services to have us help them find people to fill specific jobs.
Well, I think that both from employer and the job seeker, to know that there's some people interaction, rather than just this cold hard experience on a website, applying, not hearing, no kind of interface with encouragement and also some understanding. You probably have, because of your background and your experience, you can probably help people, guide them to where you think, give them some options with some reasons as to why this might be a good fit for them. And the same goes for employers.
Yeah.
So I would think that would be a great reason to get over there, and, businesses and individuals,
Right.
to get that human interface.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of the customers that come through the door, they sell themselves short when you're trying to find skills that they have for jobs that are open. Because they'll come in and they say, well, I've only been doing auto mechanic work. Well, when you think about that, okay, so you're only an auto mechanic. Let's expand on that a little bit. Because as an auto mechanic, you've still got to keep schedules, you've still got to track things, you've still got to order things. And so you've got all these other skills that you have that you haven't thought about because I'm just an auto mechanic. And once you start looking at those, and the people in my office are phenomenal at doing that, sitting down with them and pulling those other skills out and say, these skills you can use for this job. And then it starts to click in their heads like, oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that, because they don't think about the aspect of the soft skills that they have, because it's not the main job that they did. It's not the main focus of what they were doing.
Yeah. So maybe the auto mechanic has gotten an injury or something, and it's just can't turn a wrench.
Yes.
But they do have these skills, like my mechanic. He got me in a tail light and a bumper, and got it on. So he's got to find it, order it, and so like you
So
said.
you've got all those technical skills that you don't think about because it's just part of the job of being just a mechanic. There's no such thing as I'm just a, because you've done so much more with being just a that people don't think about.
Now, in town, in Oregon, in the country, we have a low unemployment rate.
Yes.
So businesses are, when I go to the chamber events, I hear that. Oh my gosh, we just need a body that can pass a drug test, please. I do hear that just individually.
Yes, I go to the greeters once in a while also, and I
Yeah.
hear that quite frequently, those types of things, that they're
Right.
looking for people. And I think that's one of the hardest parts right now, is the fact that we have more jobs than we have job seekers in the country. And right now, the U.S. unemployment rate is 3.7%. Well, Yamhill County is the lowest in Oregon at 3.7%. So it makes it really difficult for the county when we've got about 3,000 jobs advertised, but we've only got 500 people looking for those jobs.
Wow.
So it makes it a little difficult to place people. But the good thing is, we've always got people coming in, because when people use the unemployment insurance side of things, if they're unemployed for whatever reason, they have to register with unemployment.
Ah,
We deal with unemployment because unemployment is still part of the employment department. And a lot of the programs that they have access to, they have to use us to do it. So
Wow.
even though they can only register with unemployment via computer or telephone,
yes.
once they get that, they'll get a letter that says, go to your local WorkSource office
Yeah.
and do these steps.
So names are coming to you that aren't coming to anybody else, not coming to some of these other employment sites that you mentioned.
Correct.
So it's like if you're looking for a rental, which is also very hard to find, you just have to keep checking. You have to be on it.
Yes.
Well, you will do that for a business. You will be constantly monitoring the people that are coming in the door and saying, oh, this is a good match.
Right.
For that.
So with WorkSource, I have two different sides. So the side that Eric deals with is the businesses side. And so what he does is he deals with the businesses to find customers or job seekers to fill the positions that the businesses are looking for. My exploratory services side, they deal with the customers that walk through the door. Those are the job seekers. Those are the people who are recently unemployed, long-term unemployed, whatever the case might be. The veterans who are just recently discharged. People coming in to get services for resume writing, interview skills, and looking for a job. The exploratory services side will check and see what skills that they have that match with jobs that the businesses side is posting. The businesses side will constantly be referring back to and checking the job seeker side to see if they've got transferable skills that will meet those business objectives that the businesses are looking for.
So you just have a lot broader and more constant reach than an individual business can have
Yes.
with their limited human resource department, even if they even have one.
Yeah.
Right?
True, very true. And there's other good news. I mean, the 3.75% unemployment is really hard on businesses, but we try and be as creative as we can to access other databases to find other folks. Will use Indeed.com a lot and be able to, help point out that there's a recruitment going on in McMinnville and help refer folks to that. So our business staff are able to get really creative in finding folks, the needle in the haystack, and very specific candidate. And our database, the iMatch Skills system, is the second biggest database in the state besides revenue. And there's dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of job seekers in there. What we do also is help educate and help teach businesses to access our system. They can access our system and look for specific candidates. They can even, pull up their resume and call them right off of their job listing that they create with us. So there's a lot of ways to, kind of overcome and to get around that disconnect between, the number of businesses that are in need and, what seems to be a limited amount of job seekers.
Mm-hmm. Now, you talked about some programs that you have for job seekers at the WorkSource office, which let's talk about where it is, first of all. Where is it?
Well, it's over, actually, a quarter mile down due west of the Aviation Museum, Evergreen Aviation Museum, at 370
Northeast Norton Lane.
Norton Lane.
What we call the mall, the old outlet mall.
The old
that's
outlet
been
mall, yeah.
converted into
Right there
over
by
the movie theater.
Right there by the theater
Exactly.
in Chapman, or not Chapman, I don't know why I keep thinking Chapman, that's Southern California, but Temecula.
Yes.
So it's right there, and a lot of the services that we have is, one of the big things that people don't think about is where businesses are going, and everything's going to technology. And so we offer a lot of services and classes to help people with technology. We just recently started a joint ventureship with Goodwill, and they come in every Tuesday morning and provide basic computer classes. So this past past Tuesday, yesterday, today's Wednesday, yes. So yesterday they came in and they did the beginning and intermediate Excel courses.
I see right here.
So every Tuesday they're going to be coming in and doing those courses. Those courses are free. You don't have to be registered in the iMatch system. All you got to do is come in and say, hey, I'm here, I want to take the computer course with Goodwill. We'll take you right over to the computer lab. You'll meet Nick and sit down and take the class. And at the end of the class, you get a certificate that says you've learned this program. And it's really a benefit for job seekers because from my perspective as a manager, when I'm interviewing you for a job and you say, yeah, I know the Microsoft Office package, I've used all the programs. Well, do you have anything that shows me that you know them? Well, even these certificates that you get from Goodwill is going to be a piece of paper that says this person knows this program. So little things like that make a difference. We have resume writing classes, and we'll sit down with you individually, one-on-one, or most of it starts in the class, and then we sit down individually and go over and help you fine-tune it. We do interview training, so you get to learn how to interview, because most people don't know how to interview. Found this out by doing interviews the last 2 days, that people come in and they don't know how to answer the questions when it comes to an interview. So going through the training for an interview makes all the difference in the world.
So something just hit me. Okay, if I'm a job seeker, I'm feeling pretty good because, people are begging, the businesses are begging for me. However, I want to get the best job I can.
Yes.
And if I've got maybe just a small deficiency, and I could fill that with one of these classes, now I can say, yeah, well, now I'm capable of this salary or in this
Yes.
salary. So even though people are feeling confident, I can get a job, you want to get the best job you can get, and with, like I said, by stepping up in a new way, you might be able to step up in the how good your
Yes.
job is. So I'm seeing intro and intermediate, Excel, 8 o'clock, 8 to noon,
Afternoon.
Tuesday mornings.
Yes.
And on it goes. Here's a Google Suite class, MS Word, PowerPoint, e-skill computer class, WorkSource orientation. Here's one for writing your resume, like you talked about. All these things to help someone get a better job than maybe they're capable of
Right.
at the moment.
And we do have people who are employed who come in and utilize our services too, because
Okay.
they're doing just that. They're looking for that better job, that larger paycheck. That's something to increase their potential of providing for their families.
So, Eric, when you're good at matching people to jobs.
I
mean,
like
that-
to think so, yeah.
That's your training and your experience.
Yes, definitely.
So I come in, you see my skills, and you kind of know what I want to do, and you want to get me in the best job possible. So you're going to say to me, looks like if you did this and this, that would make a big difference in getting this job that we have right now, or jobs like this that always come in. So people that are employed, they get a counseling service on how to do better.
Yes.
Exactly. And the counseling service isn't just limited to, exposure to different job options, exposure to different, training and upgrades and skills. It's also career services where if someone wants to make a wholesale career change, we do have a designated career counselor there. She's actually the one that teaches a lot of these classes. But in addition to that, there's also, not just brief, short-term classes. She has funding available for larger skill upgrades. So funding available for select licenses, relicensing, certifications, and depending on the different program you're interested, sometimes they can help pay a portion of a 2-year degree, so an associate's degree. So a lot available, and it's a very underutilized and not as well known service that we provide.
Okay, partial assistance on a 2-year degree, but also you were telling me about tuition on specific training programs, welding?
Right. We do, the two bigger ones that we use right now are, one is a welding program where you go get your basic welder certification, and the other one is for a commercial truck driver's license. And so we pay for those if you meet certain requirements. Of course, everything's got requirements that you have to meet. So the only way that you can find out is by coming in and saying, okay, this is my story. How can you help me?
There's a lot of resources that you know of that you're clicking through in your head about what can apply here.
Yes. Well,
that most people don't have that list in their head.
I can give you a small example from me. 35 years in the Navy, I have an MBA in Human Resources, did HR for 35 years. And I've come out of the Navy, and there's a big difference between HR in the military and HR in the civilian world. So I was lost. What am I going to do? Even though I had all this experience and all this education, I'm what at WorkSource they called a unicorn. They don't see somebody like that very often. But we do see them occasionally that come in and they're very educated and very experienced. Well, now the problem is, how am I going to market myself to put myself out there the best light that I can for these businesses that are looking for someone with my experience, my background, my management experience that I've got, because I've been managing people for over 20 years. How am I going to present that? And so sitting down with WorkSource, the DevOps specialist, the Disabled Veterans Outreach Program, since I had just recently gotten out, they sat down and they helped me rework my resume so that it wasn't all military jargon. It was civilian lingo. So any hiring manager can pick it up and look at it and know exactly what I did. I went and I actually took those courses at Goodwill, those computer courses. I've been using the Microsoft Office package for 25 years, since they first started. But I didn't have any certifications for them. So I went and took those courses. They were easy. I mean, you wouldn't believe how easy the courses are. They walk you through everything, and then you take a test at the end. Then you get a certificate that says that you've learned this. And so you take that and submit it with your package. Now I've got the certification that says that I know Microsoft Office. Here's my experience in civilian lingo so that you can understand what I've done. and my education to go with it. And now I'm presentable to the civilian world as a regular person and not a military person who you think is going to go out there with a caulking gun and start shooting caulking all over windows and stuff.
So what I'm hearing is a absolutely amazing experience. You got the benefit of the how to write your resume, translate it into civilianese.
Yes.
Took these classes to skill, and then somebody at WorkSource goes, "Oh, well, now you're qualified to manage this office."
Basically, in a nutshell, yes. Yes. That's what my boss said, yes. You know, and it truly does make a difference. If you've got that experience and that knowledge, I mean, the people in my office are incredible with what they do and the way that they talk to people. And they're so welcomed when they come in. And my office, it's like a family. And that's one of the things they said when I first got there was, you know, we're like a family. They also said we can be easily bribed to buy food.
Definitely.
But, you know, they're really like a family, the way they work together. But if you think about it, you spend over half of your wake hours at work. You need to feel like a family. But the people who come through the door, they can feel that too. If there's animosity, they're going to know, why do I want to be here? If they can't even get along, how are they going to help me? But it's incredible. I mean, I am blessed to have the office that I have.
Yeah. So, and not only all these wonderful programs that are available throughout Oregon, we got a really nice one right here in town.
Yes.
That's friendly, and they've got their act together, can really help you without a lot of
Yes.
difficulty in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Now, something else employers can benefit from.
And I'll let you talk about the WOTC
Oh,
program.
yeah. So WOTC stands for the Work Opportunity Tax Credit. And so there's a lot of businesses that may not realize it. They may be eligible for a tax credit at the end of the fiscal year. And if they hire somebody from a lot of different populations. They may be a TANF recipient, they may be a SNAP or food benefit recipient, they may be a veteran, and there's a lot of different levels and a lot of different classifications and a lot of different tax credits depending on what veteran is applying and you hired. And so if you don't know if you qualify, you can call us. We can give you more information on that tax credit. And a lot of employers actually, we just met with Marshalls. They have it as the last page of their job application. And they just have their applicants fill in their information. And, if you meet one of those demographic requiremements at the end of the year, a tax credit will come your way.
And that tax credit's in the range between about $1,500 and $9,600 a year for that first year per person that they hire.
Wow.
So up to almost $10,000 of
Yeah.
tax credit for your business
Yeah.
or more, depending on how many you hire.
You mentioned, we just have a minute left. I'd like to talk about the DevOps program. It has the word disabled veterans, but
Right.
disabled is kind of an old-fashioned term that now, you
Yes.
mentioned you were in that program. You're not physically disabled. You hadn't been out of the military very long.
Right. Well, DVOP is actually Disabled Veterans Outreach Program, came from back right after World War II when the program first started. They just haven't changed the name, but it
No.
was more centered towards disabled veterans.
Would you read that list of the veterans that get special help?
So-
And what is that special
Right.
help, first of all?
And so they get additional incentives and benefits based on meeting some of these requirements than just a veteran coming in who doesn't meet any of these requirements.
Now, veterans do get
Veterans
some
get-
special treatment.
Right, they get priority preference
Right.
when it comes to all services. So they can walk in and 4 people can be waiting for service, they would be pushed to the front of the line because of the service to say thank you. So
Now-
with the DVOP, we've got various different things. So if you're homeless, if you have service-connected disabilities, Vietnam-era veteran, discharged within the last 3 years, previously incarcerated, which people don't understand that there's a lot of veterans who are previously incarcerated.
I mean, that'd be big news for a veteran that's going, man, I've
Right.
got this conviction, this is really tough, and they
And
find
that's-
out they've got can actually get some help
Yes.
to get them
And-
past
and-
that.
And another one is veterans lacking high school diploma or GED. We'll help them with that too. And low income, depending on various factors that, they're looking at, each county is going to be a little different on the income. But there are benefits for being a veteran that meets some of those requirements that not all veterans will get.
All right. Well, I surely want to thank you for being here today. Thank you for finishing up with about the veterans. But we're reaching out to businesses, reaching out to individuals, and there's a lot more that we haven't talked about, I can tell.
Yes.
But thanks for being here to give people an introduction.
Well, thanks for having us, Ken.
Yeah, thank you
It's
very
been a pleasure.
much. Ken.